go into that orgy room and like, okay, now we're gonna jump on two girls.
I would feel unattractive, very, very unattractive, wearing revealing clothes and like my ass out.
I think for fetish party, ecstasy is a really good match.
Hi everyone, welcome to I Hate Porn, the podcast all about sex. And today I'm joined with my good friend Shona River.
Hey, I didn't know what the name was.
Really?
I love porn. Maybe if I know the title is I Hate Porn, maybe I would not have come.
Oh really? Well, it's
Yeah.
ironic, so
Okay then.
it's okay.
Sorry, I still don't get your humor sometimes.
No one does. So today we're going to talk about fetish parties, and specifically Torture Garden, which is something I know you love. But I guess before that, like, why don't you tell us a bit about what you've been up to?
Life is great. I have been thinking to moving to London
That's
because
cool.
right now on paper I'm based in Budapest, but I am always traveling and I got a little bit tired and I want to change. So I decided to move to London from 2022.
Why London?
I love London and I love the crowd. It's my favorite city.
Cool. And how's work at the moment? You're
Good.
still doing porn?
Yeah, not so much, but still doing more OnlyFans stuff.
Nice.
What's up with you?
Not much. I've been a bit sick, but I'm fine. Did the first episode of I Hate Porn. Now we're doing the second.
How did you come up with the title?
Just because...
Aren't you afraid some religious people are gonna start to follow you because they think it's something that it's people for who actually hate porn?
No, honestly, I've had about 10 YouTube channels deleted. So I figured if I call it I Hate Porn, maybe it tricks the people that censor it a little bit. Because it's so depressing when they delete you. So,
Yeah, I can relate to that.
yeah. So fetish parties.
Fetish parties.
It's something I've never been to. Like, I do...
But you already hate it, I know. You have a really strong opinion about it.
It's not...
I don't know anything about it, but I hate it and I would never go.
No, I'm like a really open-minded person when it comes to what other people do. But for myself, maybe I'm a bit more prudish in some ways. I'm very open-minded, like, with what happens in my own bedroom. I'm, like, into lots of different things. I like to try different things. But for me, it's when it becomes public, like when it's sex in public, I can only really do that if it's part of a job, if I'm getting paid. So it's just not
So
fun
you are
for
a
me.
whore, not a slut.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I don't know.
Cool.
It's a really strange
There's
thing.
no shame on that.
And like we're talking about Torture Garden specifically, and like for a lot of people that maybe in America or in different parts of the world that don't know, like how would you describe Torture Garden?
It's so hard to describe for people who have not been there. My first time was 4 years ago and I also didn't know what to expect. So Torture Garden is the biggest fetish party in the world. They started in 1990 and since then it grows so much and it's approximately they have once a month in London, but they have other locations, for example, Tokyo,
Okay.
LA, New York, and sometimes also in Rome or Edinburgh.
So it is a real party that's like...
It is a real party, and a lot of people are unsure. They think it's a sex party or
I
kind
think it's
of
a sex party.
swinger party, or
Yeah.
kind of it's like a fancy dress party, or people have so many ideas.
I would say, like, I've never been. I've spoken to people that have been and not listened much because in my head, it's a fetish party is how I would think of it.
So what fetish party means to you?
To me, it means like live action role play, but with sex. So something quite nerdy, like dressing up in what I would say are ridiculous outfits, especially for men. I think for men, it all looks a bit 80s gay pride, like lots of leather and like just silly stuff.
Yeah, those harnesses,
or
you
your,
mean,
or your
and
nipples
latex.
out, and yeah, just I don't think those clothes are flattering for men. I don't think they look masculine. Even though they try to look masculine, I think it's like they look so masculine that they look feminine. So I would feel ridiculous, especially as a skinny guy. I would feel so ridiculous in those clothes.
But that's the thing, like Torture Garden is like, it's all about like self-expression. Like you can dress up how you want to. You are not limited to one style and one harness or anything. You can be whoever you want to. That's the great thing about it. It's like you can just embrace it.
So if I just went in jeans and a t-shirt, that would be...
No.
So that's what it is, then you can't.
So they have a really strict dress code.
You said you can be anything you want to be, and now you say this.
Okay,
it's about self-expression, but it's not.
Okay, but if you want to wear jeans, you can go to a pub. In Torture Garden, if you try to go to Torture Garden, what you can imagine with the same outfit, you can enter a nightclub, you're not gonna get in. So at the entrance, they're gonna ask you if you have a ticket. You have a ticket, great. And then they're gonna ask you to show your outfit. And if your outfit doesn't match, they're gonna just stop at the door.
So what as
So they don't care if you are 18 years old, 65 years old, man, woman, fat, lesbian, support, I don't know, whatever political party. They don't care, but you have to dress in a certain way. That means no leggings, no cotton, anything,
no cotton.
No cotton.
All my clothes are cotton or wool. What would I do?
But you go and buy an outfit on a Friday afternoon.
So the dress code's more about material.
Yeah.
That's really...
So it can be red, but it has to be latex or leather. So the color doesn't matter, but the material does. So there are some things like, for example, leather and... what's the other? I just wanted to...
Rubber, maybe?
Not rubber, latex. So latex and leather are the most popular. You can get something but looks kind of like latex, like PVC. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they accept that, but cotton is a no.
But that's...
No denim, no suit. So you can just like wear an elegant suit.
What if it's a leather suit? Like what?
Okay,
say,
then probably
Eddie Murphy
you can
would wear or something.
Eddie Murphy is not the look you want to go for.
No?
Really, yeah.
I'm sure he had a latex suit in one of his stand-ups, so... No? You can't have a...
Let's go next time and try. Mm-mm. And I'm gonna laugh at you if you can't get in. That would be hilarious.
The clothes part is terrifying to me. And it's like you said, it's about self-expression, but to me it doesn't sound like it's about self-expression. It sounds like it's about fitting into this narrow view of BDSM where...
But that's the main thing, the fetish. And within the fetish, like you can be whoever you want to. I was Demona last time. Yeah. And everybody complimented my outfit.
This isn't just my problem with fetish parties.
But if it's not for you, you can just go to a fancy dress party and you can be like Donald McDonald or whoever you want to, with any material.
If you're a guy and you're worried about feeling silly or looking... Like, I would feel unattractive, like very, very unattractive if I was wearing revealing clothes and like my ass out or my
But you can just
off.
like make a joke about it and like, wow, today I'm gonna do something crazy, and you just go there and try the experience.
Feeling like you're making a joke of yourself isn't a good way to feel sexy. So is there something that you can wear that's like for beginners, like something safe?
A beginner kit.
Yeah, like something that if you want to try and see it, just go explore, but not be too intimidated by the fashion sense.
But I would expect from you are not so intimidated. You do porn, Tommy. Like, just... And you are also closer to 40 than to 30, so aren't you too old to be intimidated?
No, absolutely not. I'm a very shy person, actually. It takes me a lot to get over my shyness and force myself out of my comfort zone. And I know wearing like Bon Jovi trousers and like straps around my chest would just be too far for me. I would if I saw myself in the mirror, I think I would look ridiculous. And then I would think of how everyone else would think.
But you know what?
Looking
You
at
could
me.
just have like a cool onesie from tip to toe and only like your eye would be out.
So
So
that's what I
maybe you
mean.
would be shy, but nobody would know it's you. And
So you can just wear a onesie,
yeah,
like a
and nobody would know who you are.
tiger onesie or something.
No, latex onesie,
what?
Tommy. Latex.
I thought you meant like pajamas. Like,
Oh, come on. So that's the great thing. What I wanted to talk about it here, everybody is equal. I love that. You can be a man, a woman, you can be older, younger, your sexual orientation, you can be straight, lesbian, gay, LGBT, Q+. And we are all equal. We pay the same entrance fee.
okay.
You don't have to be a member, but you have to think about you want to go to the party sometimes months in advance, but at least like 4 or 5 weeks because the tickets sell out
Oh wow, it's so popular.
really fast. But once you have the ticket, we are all equal. There is no such thing that the doorman doesn't like you and like who would think you are a little bit fat or old or something and you cannot enter. It's all about you have the ticket, you have the outfit, and then you can go in. And people are really nice. It's a real community.
I get that sounds nice, like to say that, yeah, everybody's equal. But I've never felt that society is particularly unequal. I've never been to a bar that's not welcoming.
Sure, you have. Like here, there is no difference between rich and poor people. So somebody who makes less money, like for example, a shop assistant, don't feel any difference. There are so many people there from with different jobs, like lawyers, doctors, engineer, politician.
Sounds quite elite.
Somebody who's like driving a truck.
But isn't
It's
that...
like everybody is equal there and we pay the same entrance fee. When you go to a normal club, you see the VIP. There's always VIP.
Not everywhere, but yeah, some places.
Yeah, who got special treatment. They have their table. You feel like you need to spend £1,000 to have your table and like ordering a lot of champagne. You know what I mean, right? And then pretty girls, they just like skip the queue and go into the front and they don't even need to pay. But if you're a man, you need to pay. And here, everybody is equal.
I get what you're saying about things being equal. And I guess maybe because there's a uniform, it stops people from being elitist. Like you can't see who's wearing Gucci or...
I mean, even though it's not labeled with like mainstream brands, you can see when somebody is wearing a really expensive outfit. Like usually
really?
this latex stuff can be easily more than £1,000, a more complex one.
How much is it to get in, by the way?
It's around £35.
See, I would
35,
say,
£40.
I would say that is quite expensive for a party. Like, I mean, how much does a normal party in the UK cost to go to like an average bar?
I don't know, I never go to average places because after going to Torture Garden, just nothing is interesting for me. Like, there's just so much stimulation there. Like, I love these crazy outfits that everybody once in a month, they make an effort. So they go for the look that you are in a movie scene, not like in a fancy dress party. And you have great music, and there are so many performances on the stage.
Okay.
You get so much for the £35.
Take me through like how an evening goes. So if we go to Torture Garden, do you get changed there? Or do you have to say, go on public transport wearing your crazy outfit?
I think some people do that and they quite enjoy.
Oh, people like that?
Yeah, like they like to show off their cool outfit. Usually I go with a big group of people and we take an Uber there. And usually I'm
Safer.
wearing kind of like half my outfit and I change the other half there.
Okay.
So I put on the stuff that is quite hard to put on, like the latex, because sometimes you need some powder, to manage to pull it on.
Yeah.
And the easy stuff, like just change shoes there or something.
Okay. And can you get changed there if you want to?
Yeah.
Okay. See, that makes me feel better. I feel a bit safer.
Yeah, you don't need to like kind of a walk of shame to
Yeah. Even just being in the
walk
taxi
through London.
would be like...
Oh, I think the taxi drivers are not shocked at anything in London.
Yeah, that's true. And then this is the other thing that would bother me. I think if I went to something like that, I wouldn't want my friends to see me that way. Like, because for me, like, sex is a very private thing. It's something...
But that's the thing, you don't need to have sex. That's why I prefer Torture Garden over the other fetish party, because it's so big. So the smaller events, there's usually 1,000 people there. And when they have like a super big event like New Year's Eve, Valentine's Day or Halloween, the venue is much bigger and it can be 2,500 people as well.
But I think for me, it's like, I wouldn't want my friends to see me in these clothes because it's like, one, it's like advertising your fetishes to your friends. Like,
you mean your mainstream friends, like your civilian friends, or?
Well, my porn friends, my mainstream friends, they're all my friends. So I still wouldn't want I wouldn't want you to see me. I wouldn't walk around in underwear in front of you, for example.
Why not?
Because it's not normal. It's just...
But you don't need to. Like I told you, you have so much freedom choosing your outfit. If you are shy, you can literally have a full-on latex stuff and nobody even know you are there. And the other things, you cannot use your phone. You cannot take picture once you enter.
But it's
there is a photo corner. You can take picture and you are not allowed to do selfie anywhere else. And people are super respectful. Usually, I think most of the people are the core, who usually go there, and only a few new person at the parties. And they are quite respectful and they see nobody takes pictures, so they also not. Yeah. So you would never see those pictures anywhere else on the internet.
Well, that's fine, but I still wouldn't want my friends to see me dressed in fetish clothes.
And maybe if your friends are cool, you can go there and blindfold them all because you are shy.
And it's like, I just don't see it
idea.
For me, I don't mix like my sex life and my friendships. And this feels like bringing those worlds together in a heavy way. And again,
it's not for everybody.
Yeah, maybe it's like the conditioning that we have in society. It's like,
but I'm still hoping I can pursue you to come check it out, because my civilian friends, for both of them, I bought this as a birthday present, that I bought them a flight ticket and entrance to Torture Garden, and they both loved it.
Yeah.
So it's my mission to take everybody to Torture Garden.
Yeah, I don't know,
they all loved it.
Did you see what happens? What's a typical evening?
I have never had the same experience twice. You can do so many things, really. One time I'm just crazy partying because I like the music. And I'm just busy going from one room to the other and then go have some fresh air in the garden, talk to people, have a drink, go back dancing.
Is it crowded?
Yeah, usually it's crowded.
Like packed together, crowded?
But not too bad. And another time I would be just mingling, talking to a lot of people. There was one time when I actually went to Torture Garden, like it's any bar. On a Friday night, I go to a pub. I just sit at the bar area and I was just chatting with my friends like I am in a normal place. That was quite funny. And I didn't even dance or go to the couples room or the dungeon place. Another time I would be in the couples room. That's the
So the
place when you
couples-
can have sex.
So you can't have sex everywhere. You have to have sex in specific
You are
places.
supposed to have sex in that specific place, but people after some time they start to have sex in the dance floor in a dark corner sometimes.
Okay. Have you had sex there?
On the dance floor.
I'm just at Torture Garden in general.
Yeah. Yeah, so every experience is different. So I am in the couples room, I had sex. Another day when I go there, I would just like play in the dungeon area, like spanking my friends or something.
Would you say that if you go there, you're pretty much guaranteed sex?
No.
No, so you could go there and
So
you
it's
could go
not
to a
like,
sex
oh, I go
party
to
and not have
torture
sex?
garden and I can have sex.
That would be bad as well. Imagine.
So consent is really important. Just because you
yeah,
go
of
to
course.
torture garden, you are less likely to be raped than in a normal club, let's say. People are really respectful and they ask your consent. And there are also moderators there
Okay.
who are like looking after people, like if everything goes wrong, all right or not.
Yeah, I didn't think of that aspect. I just assumed that everywhere public is kind of safe anyway.
It is, but it's extra super safe. People always ask, is it okay if I do this? Is it okay if I do that?
Do you have to wear condoms there, or is it your choice?
I mean, if it's like two people consent to have sex without condom, it's their business.
Do they provide condoms there?
Good question. There might be some.
I've been
But
to
I
a-
always bring my lube and condom and all my stuff, so I don't know. But probably, or you just turn to a closest person and ask for it, like you would ask a tissue in a normal place.
or a cigarette.
Or
That's
a cigarette, yeah.
That's quite cool though, and that's a good way to make friends. Like, 'cause I always was jealous of
Sorry,
smokers.
you have a condom?
Yeah, I was always jealous of smokers because they can
It's
make
easy
friends
to make friends.
anywhere.
Here you can just use
Yeah.
like condom
Condoms.
or like a whip. Excuse me, do you have an extra whip to use?
I've been to a sex party before, and I hated that so much. And I think that's maybe the reason why I would hate Torture Garden, is because I'm judging it based on my experience at a sex party. And I think with the sex party, I felt that everybody was a couple there, and every couple was looking for a single girl. And
Yeah, but I would
it
like
was
to say again, it is not a sex party.
Okay.
Torture Garden is not a sex party.
Why is it so
There
hard for me to
is-
understand that?
I don't know. But sex is just like one little thing from the whole experience. So here, it's not a classical swinger or sex party where you have to arrive with couples.
Which is a
And
good
if you
thing.
are a man, single man, they don't want to let you in, or they let you in, but they're gonna charge you so much more money.
Oh yeah, but does that mean that Torture Garden is just very male dominated?
No, it's naturally around 50-50 or 60-40 or something like that. There is no moderation between like, okay, we let 5 men in, so needs to be at least 4 women. They don't check anything like that. It's just naturally man and woman and trans woman, trans man, non-binary. I hope I didn't skip anyone. Just everybody wants to go there, so they don't need to pay attention. But when you enter the couples room, this is the special area for sex. You need to go in couples.
Okay.
So the thing, it can be 2 men, 2 women, but when you enter, you need to kiss on the lips, a passionate kiss on the lips.
Oh,
That's it.
interesting.
So it's not
that's
like there
the
is gonna
swingers
be like,
party area.
ooh, 20 men go into that orgy room and like, okay, now we're gonna jump on 2 girls or something. So you need to arrive with your couple. That's
Okay.
it. So if you go there and you just wanna dance, you can dance, and you're probably not even gonna see anybody having sex or naked. You're just gonna dance on the dance floor. That's it.
Okay. So that would be me, just sat.
Yeah, so you can just go there, enjoy that. It's kind of like a scene in a movie, from a movie, that everybody is wearing this cool outfit, and you're not pressured to to go to the dungeon or go to the couple's room. Just enjoy the electronic music, have a drink at a bar, go back dancing, enjoy the crazy show on the stage.
What kind of shows?
Wow, they have so many. Sometimes they do, on a bigger events, a latex fashion show, and those outfits are incredible. We'll show you some picture. Or there's like needle play. But you're not forced to watch it. You can just go out like, oh, I don't like this.
That's my phobia, is needles. When I have my blood test, I almost faint. So I don't think needle play, but...
So last time there was a man who hanged himself with a few hooks, and he was like flying
that's
above
very cool,
us.
But yeah.
And then he pulled out, and his blood was just like flowing.
What, in the crowd?
No, like he was pulled out, and on his back the blood was just...
Yeah, see, I don't know.
Just like they have crazy performances, but they're all cool.
I don't want to kink shame, but for me, once you're drawing blood, like, is that self-harm at that point? Like, is it healthy to be promoting things like that? I don't know.
I think people are just born with this, and they cannot decide, like, oh, I don't want to get turned on by harming myself from tomorrow. It's like, kind of like, oh, I don't want to be gay. From tomorrow, I'm going to be heterosexual. It's like, I'm not going to like needles just because I saw on the stage that somebody stick needles in himself or somebody stick needles inside him. It's just, people are born with these fetishes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just because I saw on the stage, I don't want to like, oh yeah, use me as the pillow with the pin, you know?
I understand it. I know a lot of
so people. So it's people who already like have fetishes would go there. So it's not like disturbing these like innocent minds, and like from the day after they're gonna go for...
I mean, I wouldn't pay money to see someone actually injure themselves. Like, you know, if you see a magic show and they cut someone in half, you know, I don't want to see, you know, an actual sword go through someone, you know, and hooking someone up and blood going everywhere. And to me, it seems like self-harm, or a type of self-harm, and I don't know what the mental state of people that have those fetishes is. I don't know if it is related to self-harm or not. I'm very ignorant of that. Maybe it's healthy, and maybe you're just stimulating some kind of emotion, and just it's a sensory experience. But for me, that would definitely be disturbing, and promoting it commercially is definitely a step too far.
It's not really commercial.
Well,
it's like
is.
a really
you're selling tickets,
kind of closed group. I mean, it's mostly always, it's like they have a core and a few new people who would like, oh, I want to check out what Torture Garden is. But usually I see the same faces over and over. It's a community.
Yeah, I get that. But
and everybody has some fetish. I don't know if I would check your browsing history, what I would see there. Maybe some kinky shit.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You're just like so private and you are not talking about it, and now you are asking about self-harm stuff, but maybe I would see something more
I'm open-minded,
like kind of crazy.
I'm open-minded to everything, but my limit is when something seems dangerous or inflicts like physical harm. So like with BDSM, I don't like to leave a girl bruised, you know? I think when it gets to that level, I feel like it becomes a bit disturbing for me as the person giving that, even if the person likes to receive that treatment. And yeah, piercing the skin just seems just a step too far for me. And especially to do it publicly. Like, I mean, when we sell porn online, there are rules. We can't have blood. We can't have fecal matter. And so some people do have fetishes which are dangerous or unhealthy. And should we be celebrating them, or should we be saying, okay, maybe see a therapist and get some treatment for this?
I think the question is if it becomes if he or she cannot handle and it causes problem in their life, and I think they need to decide on their own if it's like if it causes them a problem or not. But I think as long as it's just like a show on stage, and I don't see anything wrong with it, because nobody's forcing that performer to do it. And just because I saw somebody cut themselves with a knife, it doesn't make me want to do it.
I don't know, like, I mean, Torture Garden are making money they're paying him or her to cut themselves on stage and promote that as an edgy show. And I think that's quite disturbing when you can just use special effects and things like that to achieve the same result.
But you have to understand there are some people who they would do it for free. This is their fetish. So it's not like, oh my God, I'm gonna self-harm myself because I have no money, so I just gonna use this knife, cut myself and make money on a Friday night.
I don't know. I think just because somebody does that, it doesn't mean that it's okay to use them. For me, that's quite disturbing. Like, I know it's like, you can say it's kink shaming, and maybe it is okay. I mean, there's been pop stars that, cut themselves on stage and that's part of their show. And I just don't,
I just wish you would come there with me once, because now you're like stuck on like really small details, and they have like a billion performers, DJs, body artists and people, and you are like stuck on oh my God, I see blood there. Oh.
Yeah, well,
you can just, if you don't like something, you can just look away, go to another room.
Well, it's something everyone likes a bit of gore, but you don't expect real gore. So there's something surprising for me. Gore, like I like horror movies, I like violent video games, but when it is real, suddenly something changes in my head and it feels a bit different. So I think that's why I got fixated on it, because it surprised me. And I am open-minded, like I understand.
You're saying, but I don't see you are.
I'm open-minded, but I'm also a bit afraid of that. Like, I just feel uncomfortable that, especially that someone's making money and incentivizing someone to cut themselves on stage. That sounds
But those people want to do that.
I mean, I've got a good friend that self-harms, and she wants to do it, but I don't think that makes it a healthy thing. It's, I think she needs help and treatment and love and support. I don't think if someone was paying her to self-harm on stage, I'm sure she'd do it. But
there is like so many levels. Like, is like spanking like bad?
Well, that's
or where do you draw the line? When you see the blood, that's where you draw the line?
For me, I draw the line at physical harm, but I understand that my partners might enjoy like physical bruising or stronger pain, and that's fine. We're just not a good match.
Mm-hmm. That's it. I think if she wants bruises and a little bit of pain, and find a man who likes to give pain because that's his fetish, they are a perfect match, and then they don't have a problem. They are a great match, and I think they don't need to change anything.
Yeah, well,
if it's like not risking their life, of course.
Yeah, and I'm not an expert, so I don't know if these people, if you're into, say, a knife fetish or self-harming fetish, if it is a self-harming fetish, it's a cutting fetish or something like that.
Do you think you have any fetish?
I would say
what
no.
What would differ from kind of the normal way? Penetration sex?
I try a lot of different things, but I just try them out of curiosity. It's not, I haven't found anything.
What was the kinkiest you tried?
Nothing too crazy. Just various role plays. I had like a DDLG relationship once.
A what?
It's like a daddy dom little girl one.
It's so hard to picture you as a dom.
It's creepy. It's so creepy. But that kind of made it a bit hot. Like the girl was into that. And that was interesting and fun. But I felt quite uncomfortable in some elements of it.
She insisted? was her idea, or you?
She was into
wanted?
it before I met her. So, and I like to try different things. So, but yeah, usually nothing too hard, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I find most girls I meet want me to choke them, but I can't do it properly, you know? I can do like a little bit, but I just get so scared that I'll have like a of mice in men moment and just kill her by accident or something. I was so terrified of like accidentally crushing someone's windpipe or something like that. So I just get a bit nervous, and I feel like maybe it's wrong to enjoy hurting someone, and I don't enjoy it. So I feel like I'm really out of my comfort zone if I'm giving someone pain, even if I know they enjoy it.
I can enjoy hurting people when I know this is what they are looking for.
Yeah, I can up
So
to
I'm
a point.
not just, I don't like to hurt people, cause them pain if they're not into it, but if they ask me, I'm a person who like to pleasure the other. So then like, okay, no problem.
Yeah, I do up to a point, but when it starts to leave marks or when there's a risk I could accidentally kill them, I get uncomfortable and I pull back.
It's so funny, this conversation, because I see there is like a big scale and you are really like you're skeptical, and I feel like I should be on the really like the on the other side, like I'm into all fetish and kind of stuff. But to be honest, I am like kind of in the middle. I would consider myself as a vanilla person who likes the classical penetration sex. But it's funny because I am the porn star. I'm the real sex worker who go there. So that's why people would think I'm the most crazy. But among my friends, they're like, oh, so what are you into? Do you like spanking? I'm like, I don't mind. Are you submissive or dominant? I'm like, no, just in the middle. I'm like, oh, you like choking? No. Do you like whipping? No. And then
So what do you like?
I'm just so vanilla being in that fetish party. But what I really like is the atmosphere. I love those crazy outfits, the music, and people are really open-minded and nice. Here, it's not happening like in a regular club, and girls look at each other and look another girl and like, oh, is that Chanel bag? Oh, such a fake bitch, like her bag is fake. Here you don't see that other people are laughing at someone else.
Do you think that's a torture garden thing, or do you think that's because you're from Hungary and people generally are not so friendly here compared to, say, the UK?
No, I think it's a general thing.
A torture garden thing?
Yeah, that it's a community and people are not laughing at somebody else like, oh, look at that lame outfit or something.
Have you made friends there?
Yeah, I think that's the reason why I go back to London all the time.
Okay.
Actually, fun story. You want to hear the story of the first time I went to Torture Garden?
Absolutely.
I met a guy on Erotic Expo who had this BDSM stage. And we like, you are cool, so what's going on your stage? Like, and it's like, are you interested in BDS? I'm like, I don't know, maybe, it looks cool. And we kept in touch, and he told me there is this cool party, Torture Garden in London, and we should check it out. I was like, yeah, sure, let's go there. And in 1 month, we went there, and I didn't even know this guy who I'm going with, but we just like rented a hotel room for 4 or 5 days to chill in London. And that was our main program, to go to Torture Garden on Friday evening. And I happened to go for a Halloween party exactly 4 years ago. And I remember that was the really big event. It was held in a really big old theater. And it was like so many people, and the queue to the cloakroom was so big. And he's just like, oh, just give me your coat. I'm going to stand in the line and like you go explore. I was like, oh, cool. And for 10 minutes I was walking around. I was amazed with those like outfits and the music. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. And I went back and he was like, so the thing is, I just met this girl and we decided to go home and have sex.
He ditched you.
I'm like, what the fuck?
In 10
this
minutes.
like with these like crazy people in this crazy place, just flying to London to attend Torture Garden, and in 10 minutes he's going home with a girl, fucking. And he was like, oh, you can join us. You should join us. I'm like, no, thank you. I'm good. So then I put my stuff in the cloakroom, and I was totally alone in this crazy place.
Oh, I would be so intimidated like that.
I was just like a little bit, like 20% nervous, like 80% excited. And I was just walking around, just chatting with people. And I was on the dance floor dancing. And then I just started talking with 4 people. You know them, actually.
Yeah, I think I
They
met your
became my
friends.
really, really good friends. And with them, I went exploring. Like, hey, you want to come with us to go to the couples room? Yeah, we went downstairs. We went upstairs. We went to the playrooms, dancing a little bit more. And it was such a great evening. And we exchanged contact, and they left. And then, in the end, I went home with a couple and had a threesome.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my first Torture Garden.
I mean, that's a nice end to a night.
Yeah, it was quite funny.
Is it quite easy to find sex there?
For me, yes.
Yeah. What about for guys?
I guess it's really equal.
Mm-hmm.
So girls are super open-minded, guys are open-minded.
It's really interesting that like gay, trans, straight people are all mixed in together. And so in like, say, the couples room, is it kind of like an LGBT and straight orgy, basically?
Yeah, although I haven't been there since then. So like really every time I go to Torture Garden, I have a different experience, what my mood. Sometimes, as I told you, I just sit in a corner and chat like I'm in a bar. So this night we all went to the orgy room, and I was not in the mood to have sex, so I told Dante, like, okay, we came together here, but just have sex with anybody you want to. So he was having sex with Nikki while I was chatting with Lola Jean in the orgy room, and she was telling me she's the squirting queen. And I was like, yeah, you have to show me. And while everybody was just having sex, like she was just squirting, and I was like, wow. She's like, can you teach me that? It was super funny. My very last experience, I didn't have sex there. I was dancing a lot, and when I'm high, I always like to kiss girls. I'm chasing girls. So I would identify myself as, I wouldn't say I'm bisexual, because I could not have a relationship with a woman, but I would have sex with them. So I think I am kind of like a hetero-flexible person. But when I'm high, I always want to kiss girls. So I think I kissed like 6 girls in the last party. And in the end, I started dancing with a black guy, and then I took him home. And we shot a movie for OnlyFans.
Oh, great. So a bit of work as well.
Yeah, I got everything what I wanted.
And would you say it's best to be high there rather than drunk or sober?
I think it's
to
never
have
good to be
something?
drunk, but that's only my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think alcohol and sex go well together.
Yeah, so I don't like to be drunk. I don't like, maybe maximum 1 or 2 drink. But there's the thing, if I have 2 drink, that means I cannot come. I think for fetish party, ecstasy is a really good match.
Because it opens you up. It makes you really open-minded.
It's not just that, but like everything what you touch is amazing.
Yeah.
You feel like you love everybody. Everybody's happy. You're not gonna see those like drunk British guys who piss on the street in this place, because nobody is aggressive or looking for a fight.
Would you say it's mostly like more of an ecstasy party, or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there is like free water in the corner.
Yeah.
But still people buy drinks.
Yeah, of course. But it's interesting. But yeah, I can imagine if I had some MDMA, then yeah.
Everybody's on MDMA.
I'd probably be more open-minded. I'd probably get over my embarrassment. It's amazing. how much your personality can change when you have some MDMA.
Yeah, but I multiple times I did a sober party.
Really? Is
Yeah.
that a different experience?
Yes. When I'm really high, I always want to kiss girls and like hugging and stuff like that. And when
Yeah.
you're sober, then I just like to chat with people, sit in the garden area, have a drink, walking around, chatting to random people. And there was one question on Instagram. Somebody asked me if I have a food fetish.
Okay.
I put so much effort in my outfits that often means that I have a terribly uncomfortable shoes with like 12 centimeter heels, and Torture Garden is the only place where I have pain. I go to the garden, I sit down, and in 5 seconds there's somebody kneeling in front of me and asking, "Mistress, can I massage your feet?"
That's pretty cool.
And when after Torture Garden I go to a regular club and I sit down and I have pain and I'm just looking around like,
Where's my slave?
who gonna massage my feet now?
Would you recommend going to Torture Garden as a single person or with some friends or with a girlfriend? Like, what would be the best way for your first time? If
For
you're
me,
a
I was alone. It was funny.
If you're a guy, I guess.
If you're a guy, I think it's the best when you go with a big group of people.
Okay, but that means
And then you split up and you always find somebody who wants to dance with you, who wants to sit, who wants to go out and smoke a cigarette. But it's really easy also if you go there alone, like me, to make new friends really easily. Or if you are with a girlfriend, you want to explore something, have a threesome, or just look around. I think it's all a good way. This depends on what you are looking for.
And I guess if you're shy, you should have a more crazy outfit so people approach you and you're like, oh, what's this? And
Yeah, and it's
Like-
really easy to go crazy with the outfit. There's no limit.
well,
No limit within the limit.
Well, if we ever find an outfit that I find acceptable, then maybe I'll go with you and check it out. But
There's too much maybe in the... I think we just need to find good ecstasy and then we
Just
solve
good-
everything.
yeah, maybe I'll try. If I found an outfit that I was okay with, then I'd go because I'd be okay in like the normal room. I think it was just like the way I pictured it was that everybody would be having sex in different places, like a big orgy, and I don't really want to see.
No, it's the most mainstream fetish party, I would say. It's so big. So it's more like a real club just with extra outfits. And you have to go to like these special rooms.
Yeah, see, I think that's good so that you don't have to.
But I'm not gonna lie, sometimes people just do it in the garden or something. But
Would they do it in a normal club as well? Like sometimes
Yeah.
you see, but it's
But I feel like you asked me so many times about Torture Garden, but you actually never really listened. And for a few years, you had this image about me that I'm this person who likes fetishes. And I try to tell you numerous times, like, I don't really have fetish. I just like regular sex. I don't mind public and don't really have fetishes, just like the crowd.
I do listen and I do understand that, like for you, it's more about the community and maybe as a sex worker, it's
There's
a
a
place
funny thing.
where.
There's almost no sex worker there.
But I mean, as someone that's a porn star and known, it's maybe a place that you can easily get lost. Like the job doesn't make you stand out like it does in a normal
It
club.
does. Nobody would shame me for the job. This is what I really
Yeah,
like because
that's
it's
what I'm
full
saying,
of open-minded people, and so many of them say like, I wish I would have the courage, but from Monday to Friday I put up a mask and a costume, and that's my real costume, and like not this one. And they really praise me for being so brave to have the courage to do what I like.
Well,
I'm
think-
really surprised not more sex worker there. It shows me that so many sex workers, they are really not into that lifestyle, and more they do for the money, not for like this is like how they are.
But maybe they're going to sex parties that are regular sex parties rather than fetish parties.
But regular sex parties are not that great.
Well, I like what you were saying about people wishing they were brave enough to like be open all the time. But for me, if if their torture garden outfit is their
And
real
you do
outfit,
the opposite, like you do porn, but you're afraid to go to the kind of more private place that you're surrounded with people, but other people outside of the community, they're never gonna see what you did there.
but I don't want people to see me having sex. That's the thing that is different. Like public sex is not
But
exciting.
it's the
to
thing,
me.
like you don't have to, because those people, for example, who would come and massage my feet, they got satisfied touching women's feet.
I don't want
So it's
someone
not
touching
even-
my feet.
It's okay, they probably don't want to touch your feet as well.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
So problem solved. I think it's a lot of people are afraid that, oh my God, will I be tortured there or am I gonna be raped there? But like everything is really with the consent and you don't need to do anything you don't want and nobody is pushing you to do anything.
Yeah, no, that bit I completely get.
And I met this amazing group of friends, and every time I go to London, I always hang out with them.
Well, I think that's the main takeaway from this is that it's very welcoming, and like I know you personally and how close you are with those friends and how special they are to you. And I think, you know, if you can get that experience from it, then maybe everyone should go, and just for the potential of getting that experience, if they can find an outfit. So,
I'm sure they would. You just need to put a little effort in.
yeah. But thanks so much for telling me all about Torture Garden.
I hope I told everything I wanted. So there was one question: how do I find these fetish parties? I don't know why
It's easy. Go to fetlife.com. Everybody, like, if you're into fetishes, FetLife is the place. Don't bother with anywhere else.
Yeah, that's the best.
So thanks so much for telling me all about Torture Garden. Like, genuinely, I'm still not convinced, and I do have
Of course.
concerns about some fetishes, but I have that about celebrating certain types of BDSM anyway. And I think I would go, but I'd just be so terrified of the clothes, but I would go.
I can
if
maybe
it was
walk you on a leash so you don't get lost. We can do that.
Thank you so much.
I'm happy to help.
And so, where can people find you on social media and OnlyFans and any website that you want people to know about?
Okay, my website is shonariver.net. My Instagram is Shona River Official, and my Twitter is Shona River. And my email address is hello@shonariver.net.
Nice. And thanks for listening. And if you have any questions for Shona or me about fetish parties, or you want to give us any feedback on the show, just go to my website, mctommy.com. There's lots of articles on there. There's some porn.